Dr. Simon Wong, Professor Enoch Young, Dr. Victor Lee cannot be with us today, Dr. Charles Wong, Professor T.S. Chan, and I'd also like to thank our Secretary Generals, and of course Mr. Peter Jur. And his successor, Dorothy Horn. And I'd also like to thank all the participants of the conference earlier. Today we had this fine session, keynote speakers, and then all the parallel session speakers and the roundtable participants. Of course, including Professor Edward Chan, Ms. Terry Jare, Mr. Brian Lowe, Professor Ronald Sam, Mr. Tim Roy, I think Richard Armour left. We thank him anyways. Professor William Lee, and also I'd like to thank our sponsor, Mr. Guy Perrin. And of course, last but not least, all the FSTE staff who've worked so hard. Putting this all together. Thank you very much. I hope you have a nice dinner.
Thank you, Professor Yuan. Now, next I would like to call upon our honorable guest tonight, Mr. Eddie Ng, Secretary for Education, to come on stage to give us a speech for the occasion. Mr. Ng, please.
Professor Peter Yin, signatory figures, dedicated educators, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to be here with you tonight, and I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate wholeheartedly the Federation for Self-Financing Tertiary Education, or FSTE in short, on your 20th anniversary. Congratulations. I trust participants of the FSTE conference this afternoon had very fruitful exchanges and very inspiring discussions. Ever since I arrived in this particular room, people have been talking about the subject this afternoon, what Cherry's saying, what Edward's saying, and she gave up the poster in order to chase up the conversation rather than speeches. Excellent, excellent exchange. Too bad I missed that. On this particular memorable occasion, I really would like to share with you a couple of my observations, particularly important to everyone in the room, building, nurturing talent for the future of Hong Kong. I think that's our mission all the way through. I would have a speeches of around 20 pages. I just take the first one and the last one, and I'll try to fill in between. First of all, I'm launching a campaign, the campaign to Peter. Few days back, I was attending the education panel, and one of the key items on stage actually is the self-financing sector. I realized it this afternoon he had a lot of statistics, a lot of voluminous reporting. Too bad that I had that only 3 days later. So I will not be able to represent you properly. So next time, if there's any panel meeting, 3 days before that, Peter and I got to get together. So that's the first complaint I will have. Second, we are in a situation, on a mission, common to every heart of people in Hong Kong, the importance, the subject of education. No dispute on that. How to elaborate the government's consensus on this priority is reflected by the government expenditure on education. If there's $100 government is going to spend a year, particularly for this year, $15 or $16 would be spent on welfare, on health, medical and health. $21 on education. It has been on for several years. I believe Edward actually contributed partially to that one. During his time in the LegCo and so on, he's the one directing a lot of this resources planning. So I would like to thank you on that kind of achievement. This is our style. Everywhere we go, people actually give a very, very strange and interesting eyes in terms of what we have been doing for the last several years. Education, deep into our heart. Things we are working on, not as a job, but as a mission. That's the first point I want to make. The second point I will try to share as well and repeat it here, our aspiration. Thing of the day, when people have been complaining about the lack of university opportunities in Hong Kong, the figures they always use would be, you only have 18% people into the education arena. With your efforts, I understand at least 80% of the 7,000 is around 5,000 something. You are the one to break. I don't have the figures here. You have it. You've been providing over 5,000 of university opportunities. Together with the government and so on, together we are able to provide 38.4% of our target students to attend the university dreams and places. 18% to become 38.4%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your efforts together that we together make this happen. This is very important to every single young people in Hong Kong of the aspiration and dreams. Not only that, together with the post-secondary education together and the university places, we have already achieved almost, and Brian is going to verify the one and audit for me. If I say something wrong, he's going to want to blame, okay? We are almost achieving 70% of the post-secondary and university education. I just came back from a 1-week trip in Berlin, in Frankfurt, in Bern, not for vacation, it's for work, okay? And for Zurich. They've been talking about 30% university, 70% vocational education, similar to that one. But we are 38.4% and 70% of the population. Again, this miracle has been created by your efforts. That's what I'm trying to say. And when we try to match with the global norm, I think we should give ourselves a clap of hands to encourage ourselves. We have done it. Now, another concept coming up as well. Since the year 2000 of the education reform and all the years of efforts by everyone, because you do have 20 years of efforts together, we have made the education reform, particularly in the senior secondary platform. The concept I've been trying to elaborate to match with that aspiration is the blue ocean thinking. We are not in the Red Sea. Because of that new reform, we put ourselves into a blue ocean platform, meaning sky is the limit for opportunities. Why is that? KK has been training me well enough, and so is CS Tom. We have 4 core subjects, we have 20 elective subjects, we have 30 applied learning subjects, we have 6 extra languages to choose. On top of that, only 20% of the examination part would be on the school-based assessment. These are all fundamentals which, but that gives every young people in Hong Kong a new arena of their choices, matching with their interests, ability. And this is very important as well. Nobody has any crystal ball in front of us who can determine what's the next business segment scenario for Hong Kong. These are the people with this diverse exposure, with your efforts in providing new, diverse learning opportunities. They will be able to pick this up with confidence and try new things for Hong Kong. You will see a lot of new jobs, families, and so on. When I was in Berlin, I was told the most popular job in Germany would be the mechatronics fitter. I remember well now. Mechatronic fitters, because of the automobile supremacy. They are able to combine the mechanical, electrical, electronic skills, competence all together in order to excel in Audi, in BMW, in Mercedes. That is the new job. I never heard of that before. When we were in Switzerland, a place with 8 million people matching with the 7.23 million people in Hong Kong. So we are not you guys are pretty close to each other. Pretty good service sector on top of the manufacturing and engineering segment. The most popular job, according to the survey, when we talked with the government representative, the parliament secretary, we were told the top job there would be the specialist salesman. What is the most popular job in Hong Kong? Something we need to explore further. 2 things I've observed. One is there are a lot of more research work done in this area. Job trend, industrial trend, real time. So I suppose the challenge for us going forward is we need to spend more time trying to survey, trying to research among ourselves what it is current state, what it is, where it's heading in terms of the future. That's something to give us more shedding light what to do in the next 5 years as an example. I do recognize that VTC and others been doing a lot of manpower planning, manpower reports, but this is something I believe we need to put more emphasis in because it's going to give us good direction. This is a part I just want to mention. Diversity is definitely one. We have over 300 degree type of programs. We have over 400 sub-degree opportunities and a lot of here and there numbers. So our kids do have a problem today, the difficulty to make a choice. And that's why this year, and actually I believe last Monday afternoon, we had a grand launch of the opening event of the Career and Life Planning Education Forum in Hong Kong. We have over 1,000 people attending the event. We have 650 principals, teachers, and we have over 384 business association representatives, government departments, and so on attending the events together because our kids need a little bit helping hand what to choose. We are not going to hold their hand to choose. This is a new DNA for Hong Kong in the school sector. Career and life planning education. We are just at the very beginning, a lot more work to do, and make sure we work closely together because everything coming out from the secondary school segment all the way through. So this is another thing I just want to mention as part of the what we call the indicator and helper for the blue ocean future that we are looking at. Last but not the least, sorry a little bit overrun, but I really want to share a little bit. Franken Covey, he's the age over 78 now, I believe. He's my old friend. very, very good friend. And he teaches me a lot of things. And there's one statement I always use. Whatever we do, either as an individual, as a profession, as an institution, as a segment, as a community, as a city, as a special economic zone, we need to spend a lot of efforts in trying to understand things around us and trying to be properly understood. On the second statement, try to be properly understood is a major challenge for all of us in the room right now. When I attended the education panel on this sector's discussion, one thing I find difficult, because the time is always a limited time, 30 minutes, and each council electrical members would have only 3 minutes to stand up and say something and ask something, and I need to respond. By the time they finish the questions, it's always 2 minutes, 55 seconds. So I do have difficulty responding. But among other things, some of the questions are pretty fundamental. Just because they do not know what we are doing, heading to a lot of those difficulties and problems. One thing that they always a question is, ADD 7 actually have problems when people get graduated, they have problems in finding jobs, employment, performance. And I said, no, you talk to Peter Yun. He told me in his institution, the number is pretty good, it's in their website. And what is it on your website? I'm just teasing him a little bit. You have a lot to share. You have a lot to say. You have a lot to be offering. The only minor problem is that people don't know it. So from now on, I hope, as a last point before closing, I really want to suggest that we have a whole lot of job to do in better efforts to spend in making sure we are properly understood. Only when we are able to achieve better in this area, we will be able to serve the community better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and congratulations again.
And so now you can also see that Mr. Ng and Professor Yuen, they are now holding smaller leaves, but small leaves can grow into big leaves, right? So they're going to put these 2 leaves onto the board together on my count of 3 in reverse order maybe. So, and that will initiate the opening. So 3, 2, 1. Right, thank you. And also please stay on stage because we are going to have the photo session now. And we would like to invite in turn, well, a lot of people, there's a very happy family photo. And all the MFT directors, including the immediate past chairman, Professor T.S. Cheng, would they please come up on stage to have a group photo taken? All MFT directors and Professor Cheng as well. Sorry. And then we'll add upon that all the VIP guests from our head table, as well as all the panelists who have participated in the roundtable discussion in the conference earlier. So would you please also come up on stage and take the photo together? Yes, I think maybe we have divided into 2 rows. So the VIP guests from the head table, as well as all the panelists. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Okay, for the game, because now we will have the coach. So please stay, and our chairman, Professor Yuan, will lead us to propose a toast for this anniversary. So may all the guests, right, also raise the glasses.
To health and to education.
On this very happy occasion, so all our guests to take their seats. Because now we are going to show a short video. Actually, it's a video providing an overview of the development of the Federation. And also this self-incentive sector in general, and in relation to the manpower development in Hong Kong. And I would also like to take this opportunity to express gratitude to two of our friends, Dr. Charles Wong and Dr. Chan Kei, for their contribution to the video production of the stage of collection of historical data and to the search of suitable interview cases, etc. Please sit back and